regular season down. What will the final two bring us as we're off in Week 9? This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. They go play action with Wilson. Oh, he's going to take a shot right away. And that's caught inside the 35. And he gets this down deep into Tampa Bay territory. A big play there on the first play of the game. 63 yards.
First and 10 at the 12-yard line.
Line of scrimmage moves from their own 25 all the way to the red zone now for first and 10. Now Wilson. Left side here taken in by Metcalf. And here he'll get it down to the 7. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
It'll be a pickup of a couple, and it leaves them with a 3rd and 3.
Mike 54. Watch the slant. Switch it. Come on, switch it. Hey guys, listen.
They'll try and run for it with Penny. And he won't have the touchdown, but he will have the first down as he's tackled at the 2. And they got 3 yards. That's enough. A conversion, and now it's first and goal.
First and goal at the 2-yard line.
Let's go double count right here. Double count.
There's a guy coming off a strong rookie season, Gus Edwards. And he's across the chalk into the end zone. Touchdown, Seahawks. Gus Edwards, his first touchdown on the year. And the Seahawks take the ball down the field and score on the opening drive. Jason Myers now for the extra point. And this will give the Seahawks a 7-0 lead. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Winston and the Bucs take over now, first and 10 at their own 25-yard line. The second-year man from USC, this is Ronald Jones. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. That one good for 33 and a first.
Sometimes those lines that are drawn on a grease board or in a playbook, they come to life out on the field, don't they? And we just saw down that outside handoff to the right.
That right tackle, he gets excited for that call, doesn't he?
He does, because he just wants to dominate his guy and say, listen, I was the point of attack. I took care of business. That's why you're able to get downfield and add all those yards to your total.
Yeah, really nice gain there. So the big play gets him across midfield now for first and 10. He didn't seem in a rush. I guess they just didn't know where the play clock was.
I think you're right about that because there was no hurried movements there, right? No up-tempo at all. Clock just ran out. I think he was as surprised as maybe his bench was.
The delay of game backs him up 5, first and 15. After the penalty, it's Jones. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And it'll make this a 2nd and long.
On the Seahawks 49-yard line.
Ready. Black, can you do that? 54 miles. It's on field. It's on field.
Off the play fake. Winston. It's caught by Mike Evans. They get 16 out of that one, but they'll still need to convert on 3rd.
One thing we do know, he's going to get his catches. So as they move forward defensively, got to continue to focus on not giving up the big play when he does catch the ball in the secondary.
Play fake. Winston. And he's got a man. It's the tight end Howard, complete. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. O.J. Howard, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Buccaneers are an extra point away from tying up this football game. Extra point by Gay is up and good. And we are tied at 7. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have stayed where he was, as he'll only get back to the 16-yard line.
First and 10 at their own 16-yard line.
The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. And still a lot of football to be played in this season. We're only in November. A lot can happen between now and January. But if it ended today, they would just be on the outside of the playoff picture looking in. So a lot to fight for.
Yeah, and wasn't it interesting in our meeting with the coaching staff that they all made sure to let us know, we know where we are right now, but the playoffs don't start tomorrow. We still got some time, and they plan on putting it together, formulating a streak, that the whole month of December is still left to play. They think they can get in.
And they made it very obvious to us that there's no playoff talk in the locker room right now. It's win this game and look to next week.
Excellent focus.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Wilson. Oh, the Buccaneer pressure too much. Down he goes. Shaquille Barrett put that sack by his name in the stat sheet.
And that's their first sack of this game. But how about last week? 6 sacks. Great coverage downfield, which helped that pass rush. They are really working in sync right now.
Now Rashad Penny. It was Jason Pierre-Paul who was able to get him down.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs.
Pressure comes, and Wilson's going to go down. Ndamukong Suh. Make that now 8 sacks for him on the season.
2 sacks last week, another one right here. He's been unblockable lately, and I think that goes all the way back to not just his offseason, but the film study he's been doing during the week, because I think he's found matchups that he likes, and he's capitalizing.
And a few times he's even defeated double teams. He doesn't care at this point. Winston and the Bucs take over now, 1st and 10 at their own 24. They'll start out on the ground with Jones. Oh, he's got a little daylight. There he goes, right side. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. Ronald Jones, 76 yards. And the Bucs have taken the lead. Seeing some pretty good offense here in this first quarter.
It's been a wild start to this quarter, as you noted. And now with that lead that we're seeing, can they retaliate? I get the sense this one's going to go back and forth all game long.
And that probably won't be the last long touchdown that we see in this one. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends.
Get ready, get ready, get ready.
They'll start on the ground. It's Rashad Penny. And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. Through one quarter, 14-7 our score. They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. Now it's Wilson. Over the middle, that's caught by Metcalf. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down. And just a small glimpse there as to why they like this rookie so much.
And that's why they lit up a little bit in our meetings with the coaching staff, didn't they?
When we talked about him, they did.
Yeah, they like his work ethic. This guy's running every route well in the route tree and getting better at it all the time, really honing his game. They expect a pretty good jump out of him as things continue to move on.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
14. Check 43.
Now it's Wilson. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And that'll make it 2nd and 12.
Check 45 the line. I hope you brought your left line.
On 2nd down, it's Edwards. And hard running's going to get him over the 40 to the 42.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down.
Open man is Metcalf. He's got it. And he's got the 1st down yardage there as he takes it just across midfield. And they just keep marching right along. 1st down on a pickup of 8 there. Wilson going to lead his guys up 1st and 10. And he's a perfect 6 for 6 here to start the ball game. Here's Wilson. And the tight end Dixon left side. And he's out of bounds as he gets this down to the 45. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Here's Wilson. Looking left side, that's caught by Moore. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had to read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice gain.
Wilson going to lead his guys up 1st and 10. And he's hit on all 6 of his throws on this drive. Edwards now on 1st and 10. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
That's a strong pickup right there on 1st down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. Wilson now off the bootleg. They'll roll him out right. Now the pressure gets there, and he goes down just inside the 20 at the 19.
No doubt that's a very good play defensively right there, because you've always got to be aware that he can take off and make a big play with his legs. How about the way they were able to contain him? That also tells me the coverage was excellent downfield.
And the Seahawks on 3rd down. They've been near perfect. 4 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and 6. To throw is Wilson. And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. DK Metcalf. His 4th touchdown on the year. And the Seahawks just an extra point away from tying this thing up. Myers connects on the PAT. And we've got a tie game here in a back-and-forth first half. This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone.
The Bucs take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
We remind you that coming up later tonight, we've got a good AFC battle in Baltimore. The Super Bowl champs, New England, in town to take on the Ravens. And then tomorrow, Monday Night Football, the Cowboys and the Giants from MetLife Stadium to wrap up this first weekend in November. They'll start the drive with a carry by Jones. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
We get slap happy up here sometimes. A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. He was looking for Chris Godwin that time. But now it'll be third down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Working out of the gun, Winston. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked up by Brad McDougal. And he's going to score. It's a Seahawk touchdown. Now Myers for the extra point. It's up and good, and that'll make the score 21-14. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six, and now the kick is away.
The Bucs take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Here comes the Tampa Bay offense now heading back out onto the field. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're first place in their division, looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about...
He's got a man, complete. Give him 30 yards there.
I think it's pretty safe to say that initially they had to be thinking about trying to get into field goal range. But after that shot right there, they've got to be thinking bigger right now.
And that was probably their thought offensively. If we hit this, great, let's go for the end zone. If not, settle for a field goal. Looks like they can try to hit pay dirt. So the big play moves them all the way across midfield. It's 1st and 10 from the 45. To throw, Winston. He'll let this go for the end zone. J.J. Nelson, 45 yards. And the Buccaneers are an extra point away from tying up this football game. And he's a little bit on the shorter side as a receiver. Maybe sometimes for the defense, tough to find the little guys, right?
Yeah, sometimes they get lost in the traffic, but usually what it means is that rather than just winning with height or even speed, they use their quickness to find a way to get open.
Well, tall, short, wide, skinny, whatever, there it results in a touchdown. A couple of teams locked into a good one here. 21 all the score as the kick's away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line.
The Seahawks take over 1st and 10 at their own 23-yard line.
Here come the Seahawks now, set to take over on offense.
There was still more than a minute to go in the half. Time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity.
Trying to fit it into Moore, but it's intercepted. Picked off by the rookie linebacker from LSU, Devin White. Breaks the tackle. He's got room to run. And he will score. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. So a dangerous pass over the middle into zone coverage, and it bit him hard.
And what's really difficult when you throw it in that direction and versus that zone, that means the linebackers have gotten to their spot, gotten their heads back around, and they can see the quarterback and everything in front of them. And they took big advantage of it, went the other direction, had some blocking, and picked up a touchdown.
So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line.
The Seahawks take over first and 10 at their own 26-yard line.
The Seattle now ready to march onto the field.
Inside of a minute left in the half, does the fact that you're down on the scoreboard influence what you do, or I guess don't do on this final drive?
It certainly does, but what influences me even more is who I've got running my football team out on the field and the weapons around him. Can he make a play? Can he get into someone that we're going to trust to take care of the ball? If that's the case, I might push it a little bit here and try and get something before the half runs out.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete. The tight end, Ed Dixon, was the target. Third down here.
Third down and 7.
Check Mike 54. Mike 54. Here we go. Mike 5.
Throwing is Wilson. He's going to air one out. Oh, he tries to get it to Metcalf, but it's intercepted. Picked off by M.J. Stewart. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half.
At their own 22-yard line.
Now the Buccaneer offense set to take over again.
Now we're under 20 seconds to go in the half. I'm guessing the wise play here is be safe.
That is the wise play, because if you think about trying to fool them here, here's what you're facing. You're facing a loosened up secondary, playing a lot deeper than normal. So even if you run some type of misdirection, you're only going to fool them for a second or so. And guess what? They're so deep, they're really not going to be out of position. Take the knee, get to the locker room.
So we've reached halftime in a wild first half. We'll take a minute to catch our breath as we'll send you eastward to Orlando. Standing by with that EA Sports halftime report now is Jonathan Coachman. Take it away, Coach. Both these offenses have been in fine form. What will the second half bring us as we are underway in quarter 3? That's fielded in the end zone. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been had he simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Winston and the Bucs take over now, 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line.
Come get some. Come on here. Come get some. Here,
From the gun, Winston. And the Seahawk defense gets to him, and they bring him down. Credit the sack to Shaquem Griffin. And that'll be marked down as their first sack of the game.
Well, they had 6 last week, and this offense did its homework, didn't it? Because they saw all that pressure, and they really worked hard to tamp it down and beat it back. And they did a great job in the first half. And now they've gotten their first sack here in the second half. Look out. They'll try to increase the pressure.
On second down now, it's Jones. And not a whole lot to speak of there as they'll bring him down shy of the 20. And they only get a yard back there. They'll be left with a 3rd down and long.
And it's 3rd down.
Blue lady. 56. Check 56. Pick it up. Pick it up. Pick it up. Low 50. We go even. 56. Okay. Flip. Check 26. Here we go.
Jameis to throw it. And a big loss here as he's taken down. That's Ziggy Ansah, the number 5 pick in 2013, credited with a sack.
To me, the defense was looking a little gassed near the end of the first half, but they've come out of the locker room with a little extra spring in their step. Wonder what they did at halftime to get them so motivated.
I don't know, but that sack looked good. Now let's see if they can build on the momentum of that play.
Let's go.
The Seahawks take over 1st and 10 at their own 35-yard line.
So good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10. So they go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. 2nd down. The rookie DK Metcalf, the intended receiver. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
At the 35-yard line.
Now a handoff. Edwards. And he's got it up over the 40 to the 41. They get 6 here after the incompletion, and it'll leave them with a 3rd and 4.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Winston and the Bucs take over now 1st and 10 at their own 13. Now a 1st down carry by Jones. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A big pickup of 38. One thing that's great about watching him run, Charles, he doesn't hesitate. He got to the left side of his O-line and just went.
So there's 2 ways to look at that. One, just absolutely unconcerned, just takes off and goes. But more the latter, I think, which is he has absolute confidence in the guys in front of him, the guys doing the blocking for him. He just takes it and goes with abandon.
And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. Play action now. Winston. That's caught out left by Perriman. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. 12 yards there and a 1st down.
1st down, Tampa Bay.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Winston, a handoff. This is Jones. They're going to snuff this play out behind the line. We have not seen that much today. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 13.
Ready? 125. That's right, baby.
From the shotgun, it's Winston. Flush to his right. It's just a gain of a couple there on the scramble, and now it's 3rd down.
Nice job there defensively. A great time to dial up a blitz.
And give him credit under center instead of throwing it away. Actually, a pretty good job of getting past the line of scrimmage, not losing yardage. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. And Winston lost the football, and the Seahawks have picked it up. And they bring this one back. It's a fumble recovery and a Seattle touchdown. So they were down by a touchdown, probably just hoping the defense could hold them, maybe force the punt. Instead, they forced the turnover and take it into the house.
Well, the plan was perfect. That's exactly what they wanted. Instead, they got a lot more than that. Big-time capitalization by taking the ball away and putting it in the end zone.
Extra point up and through by Myers. And we are all tied at 28. So right back to square one, tied at 28 as he kicks it away. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And he'll very wisely take a knee here as they'll bring this one out to the 25 on the touchback. Winston and the Bucs take over now, 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. They'll run on 1st down. It's Jones, and maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. The run defense, they have been porous at times today, but not that last go-around.
No, they really tightened it up, didn't they? They finally got themselves a win because all game long we've seen them get gashed. This time they played their responsibilities, played their keys, and made a nice stop.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Winston. Pressure comes. He's taken down by the Seahawk defense. Shaquem Griffin, he was relentless there as he hits home for the sack.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Winston needing a big play after the sack as he leads the Bucs up on 3rd and long. Over the middle, he finds Godwin complete. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th.
That's certainly playing down in distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
Back now in Seattle, Washington. All even as we get ready to start the 4th. Here's Bradley Pinion now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. We saw a number of good games earlier today. This one might top all of those. It's been a dandy as we come up on 1st and 10. This is Penny. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. A gain of 5, good enough for the 1st down. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
19.
Wilson leaves this one with Penny. And this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
On 2nd down, here's Penny.
Tough day, tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. And the Seahawks on 3rd down. They've had good success, 5 for 8 to this point. This will be 3rd and 5. Here's Wilson to throw. Completes it to Dixon. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50.
12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another first down. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as...
And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by the rookie linebacker from LSU, Devin White. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. That is now seven interceptions between last week and this week. 3 in this game, 4 a week ago.
And I saw the head coach write on his play sheet, make a little note. I hope he's writing self-scout. Bring in the guys that scout games for you with a different eye and watch him and see what's going on, and maybe they can pick up what the flaws are, and hopefully they can correct them.
Winston and the Bucs take over now, 1st and 10 at their own 18. Here's Jones. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run. Got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw it through 3 quarters. No reason to lighten up now. The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. To throw is Winston. Dancing to his left. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Ezekiel Ansah able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
You know, on these types of plays, we're always looking to assess blame. Okay, where did it break down? Sometimes it's just a great play.
Winston needing a big play after the sack as he leads the Bucs up on 3rd and long. Throwing, Winston. That is caught. It's Perriman. A good pickup there, 21 yards.
A gain of 21 yards. And the Buccaneer first down.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Out of the shotgun, it's Jones. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Another strong gain on the last 2 plays. They've moved it a combined 33 yards. Getting down to the good stuff. All tied with 2 minutes remaining on EA Sports. So it's Buccaneer football as we welcome you back. They've got it 1st and 10 as they search for a go-ahead score. And they'll keep on the ground with Jones. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line.
You know, it's become cliche, but we have seen it and observed it. When runners have days like what we're seeing right now, they often take their offensive linemen out for steaks afterwards, don't they? They don't go buy them dinner. But after a play like that, he might reduce it, might go to the corner and just grab a hot dog or 2, huh?
Hey, I mean, they've still been blocking for him well in this game. They don't get one mulligan up front.
Okay, so what we're saying then is we're going petite filet instead of porterhouse.
8
How's
ounce.
that?
8 ounce is good.
All right, just checking.
Winston to throw. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
Winston needing a big play after the sack as he leads the Bucs up on 3rd and long. Here's Winston. And that will be incomplete. 2 huge plays there down the stretch. The sack on 2nd down. Now they force the incompletion. That's going to lead to a do-or-die 4th down.
And they look like they've got the confidence right now that no matter what gets thrown against them, whatever play gets run, they have the ability to shut it down. They're just brimming with it right now.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
22-yard line.
Quick, lady. Watch tight. Tight end right. Watch tight. Tight end right.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
Partner, they're clearly saving those timeouts, but they still have to work with some urgency to put themselves in the right position.
Throwing now is Wilson. He lets it fly for Lockett. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. Yeah, he will go out right near the 35-yard line. An excellent pickup of 34 yards. So that changes things a bit. Here's a 1st and 10 all the way down at the 35.
Check cross. Hey, check Mike 45. Check Mike 45. It's going to be a long day. It's going to be a long day.
Now Wilson. This will be caught inside the 10. A good pickup there, 26 yards. Well, even after all those interceptions, he's not deterred, still confident to go deep at work there.
I think all the old rules about playing that position still apply. If things go wrong, you still act like you're the best player out on the field. You still carry that supreme arrogance with you and continue to fire the ball. I've seen guys have games like this, and this is where you find out if you're great or not. Can you overcome some interceptions and still lead your team to victory?
They'll try and run forward with Petty. And running room hard to come by here. He gets it down to the 8. Now the Bucs going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 18 seconds remaining. Here's 2nd and goal, operating from the 8-yard line.
12. Check. I'll go special.
And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. The Bucs going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts, as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the ball game. Well, they've been so good on 3rd down all day long. Can they convert another here on 3rd and goal? Here's Wilson. For the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
It's now 4th down and goal.
So here we go. Maybe the biggest kick of the game forthcoming. And his kick is good. And it's celebration time on that sideline as they have taken the lead in the final seconds. He hasn't missed a kick all year. Why would he start now?
That's a great question, isn't it? Well, maybe because that was the most nerve-wracking kick he had to attempt all year, but he knocked it through just like it was an easy chip shot.
At their own 25-yard line.
Ready? Black 25. Quick. Undertake. 5 on the 50. 5 on the 50. 5 on. 56. Mike, 56, right there.
Back to throw. And the Seahawk defense gets to him, and they bring him down. A costly sack. They'll have to use a timeout here. And barring a defensive penalty, they'll be looking at one final play. Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack.
Green, Slam. Green,
One last shot now for Winston. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And that's going to be incomplete.